Miracle isn't rare, it's present. And the biggest miracle is realizing you're already standing in one. If you're still here after everything you've been through, if you've survived moments that should have broken you, if you've grown, healed, pivoted, or started again when it would have been easier to quit, that's not luck. That's a miracle. Miracles don't always arrive as sudden breakthroughs. Sometimes they show up as strength that you didn't know you had, clarity after confusion, or sometimes protection you didn't see at that time, or even doors quietly closing to make room for better ones. This series isn't about pretending that life is perfect. It's about recognizing that even in the mess, even in the waiting, even in the rebuilding, miracles are still happening. This is day one, because before you notice miracles around you, you have to believe they exist within you. And if you're reading this or watching this, you're already proof. So, miracle is learning to love what once scared you. One of the biggest miracles in my life happened in a short amount of time. So after nearly 30 years as an educator, I stepped into being a speaker and a host. And somehow, they all came together in just maybe months. I finished my keynote talk, finished the course. I started a podcast from scratch. I learned the software, I trusted my voice, I built content I believed in. I featured guests I didn't even know at first, people from all over the world. I hosted a live show consistently for a year. I didn't quit. I didn't stop even when it felt uncomfortable or unfamiliar. And now, I see things more clearly than ever. Turning fear into purpose, hesitation into confidence, and passion into impact. That's a miracle I'm deeply grateful for. So, I've learned that growth happens outside your comfort zone. And whatever scares you today could be your greatest opportunity tomorrow. So dare to start, trust yourself, and keep going. Because the miracles are waiting for you on the other side. Miracles are often found in the little things we forget to notice. The quiet answers, the timing that somehow works out. The moments that don't look special from the outside, but change everything on the inside. When I realized that miracles were already happening in my life, I started writing them down. I keep a miracle notebook. It's not a notebook, it's like a file. A file, and and a notes app where I record the moments that shouldn't have worked out, but did. Not because they were big or dramatic, but because they mattered. Some were simple, like finding better software right when I needed it and it was a good deal, or becoming part of a group that slowly turned into my community when I didn't even have friends before. Here, when I moved here, others were almost funny, like the day my car completely broke down, and I mean completely. It was right in front of an AutoZone, and I don't know anything about cars, and somehow help was already right there. So some miracles showed up through people, like meeting guests for my podcast who later became part of my journey, conversations that felt aligned, not forced, like they were already meant to happen. And some miracles came in moments of deep prayer. Like one morning, I knew I really couldn't go home to the Philippines to say goodbye to my mom, who at that time were just last moments. It really felt impossible in a season filled with uncertainty. I didn't want to leave my kids alone. Being a widow, that's kind of hard. And I really thought that that's it. There will be no closure. But that morning, I just with all my heart, everything that I had, I just prayed. And that same night, everything suddenly worked out. What felt unreachable became possible. In a matter of 4 hours, 5, I was boarding on a plane to go home. And you know what? I always write these moments down out of gratitude because I never want to forget how far I've come and how supported I've been, even when I couldn't see it clearly at that time. And maybe that's a reminder we all need. Start noticing, start remembering. When you do, you realize that miracles don't always arrive loudly. Sometimes they meet you exactly where you are, quietly reminding you that you're not alone and that more is possible than you think. Miracles don't cancel hard work. They need it. I believe in miracles, but I also believe that you have to show up. Someone once commented on one of my posts and said, "Not everyone is lucky like you." And there was negativity and sarcasm behind it. And I wasn't offended, and I answered honestly. And I said, if I base my life only on luck or miracles, I wouldn't show up the way I do every single day for my family, my friends, my work, my community. Following, I show up and I post regularly, almost every day, few times a day. And I've been doing that for years. Not because just to have numbers for following, not because of money, not because of recognition. I show up because I genuinely believe someone might need to hear something that day. Or you never know who's scrolling in a hard moment who might catch a word at the exact time that they need it. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's quiet, it's repetitive, it's uncomfortable. And most days, it's exhausting. But I stay committed anyway. What I don't always understand is how some people expect things to change in their lives without commitment, without effort, without showing up when it's inconvenient. These miracles don't replace effort, they reward it. You don't wait for life to happen, you participate in it. You earn it, you own it. That's how miracles become lasting and not temporary. Thank you. Miracles begin with belief. And I don't believe miracles happen the same way for people who don't believe. When you're closed off, constantly negative, or only focused on money, fame, or validation, you might miss them, even when they're literally right in front of you. Miracles are meant for people who are open, like children, to those who believe something greater is possible. People who know they're worthy. People who are willing to work for what they ask for. People who understand that faith and effort go hand in hand. This is personal for me because I had to completely reinvent myself, stepping into being a speaker, a host, and putting myself out there on social media, different platforms. I didn't know exactly where it would lead. I just knew, I believed I needed to do this. I believe it brought me peace. I believe it was my calling. And without that belief, I would be here sharing this with you. Belief gave me clarity, and clarity pushed me to work every single day toward this dream. I work because I believe a miracle is unfolding in my life, and that through it, I can impact others in my own unique way. So I want to share with you that belief opens the door. Effort keeps you walking through it. And when the two meet, miracles are built. Miracles are never just for one person, they're for purpose. Oh, I believe that deeply because I've lived it. Miracles didn't show up in my life because everything was easy. They showed up because I stayed standing through heartbreak, through hard seasons, through moments when quitting would have been simpler. My life itself feels like a miracle. Not because it was handed to me, but because I kept choosing faith, effort, and growth even when it hurt. I don't believe miracles land where there's no gratitude, no empathy, no kindness. If we don't take life seriously, if we don't honor what we're given, if we're constantly negative or tearing others down, abundance has nowhere to rest. But when you lead with humility, integrity, and intention, doors open. And every time something big enters in my life, I know it's not just for me. It's meant to give back, to lift others, to create impact beyond my own world. That's responsibility. And that's what miracles ask of us. And as I end this series, I want you to know something. You can have your own miracle too. It's one of those most powerful experiences when something you've worked so hard for is suddenly right in front of you. Not by luck, not because you earned it and you deserve it, but because you worked hard for it. So I want to thank you for being here, for listening, for growing with me. This is your reminder to put your faith with your trust, do the hard work, show up every day, and make your own miracles.